Have you ever tried to define a complex type in TypeScript only to hit a wall? It can be really frustrating, right? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into how to define a type for an array where the first element is more specific than the rest. I totally get it. Trying to create a type that meets specific requirements can feel like solving a puzzle with missing pieces. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face similar challenges when working with TypeScript. Here's the specific question we're tackling today. One user asked, is it possible to define a type for an array where the first element is a specific type, like a function, and the rest are empty types? They want to use this type in a single argument function. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So what does this mean? In TypeScript, you can indeed create a tuple type where the first element is a specific type and the rest can be more generic. This allows for flexibility while maintaining type safety. Let's break it down step by step. And stick around. At the end of this video, I'll share a neat trick that can simplify your TypeScript coding experience even further. To define a type for an array where the first element is a specific type, the user can use TypeScript's tuple types. This allows for a fixed-length array with specific types for each position. In this definition, the first element is a function, and the rest can be any type. The ellipsis indicates that there can be 0 or more additional elements of any type. Next, the user can implement the function that utilizes this type. The function will take an array of this type and apply the first element to the rest of the elements. In this implementation, the user uses destructuring to extract the function and the arguments from the array. The apply method is then used to call the function with the provided arguments. Finally, the user can test this implementation by calling myCaller with a function and an array of arguments. This will demonstrate how the type works in practice. Fun fact, TypeScript was developed by Microsoft and was first released in 2012. It has since become a favorite among developers for its powerful type system. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach to defining a type for an array with a specific first element is to use variadic tuple types introduced in TypeScript 4.0. This allows you to create a type that asserts the first element as a function and the rest as its arguments in a type-safe manner. For example, if you have a function that takes a string and a number, you can call it with the correct types, and TypeScript will enforce the argument types, providing errors for mismatches. That's the end of that answer. Let's see another perspective. An alternative approach suggests defining a type for an array with at least 2 elements. The first element is of type A, and all subsequent elements are of type B. This is achieved by creating an intersection type. For example, you can define A as a string and B as a number. Then you can use an interface to ensure the first element is A, and a tuple type to allow for any number of B elements. This method allows for flexibility, even if A is not a subset of B, which is a limitation in the previously accepted solution. While this constraint wasn't part of the original question, it could be beneficial for others with similar needs. Now, let's dive into a different answer from another user. An alternative approach provided by another user defines a type called first. This type extracts the first element from a tuple type. For example, if you have a tuple of number, boolean, and string, the first type will return number. Now, let's shift our focus to a different response. An alternative approach shared by another user involves defining an interface called myCaller. This interface allows for a flexible number of arguments, while ensuring the first argument is a function. It uses TypeScript's generics to handle different argument types and lengths. Here's the trick I promised. Always remember to leverage TypeScript's type inference. It can save you a lot of time and help you avoid unnecessary type declarations. And there you have it. You've learned how to define a specific type for an array in TypeScript. Remember, mastering these concepts will make your coding experience smoother. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button for more tips, and don't miss our next video on advanced TypeScript techniques.